Hey guys, so today I'm going to be doing a review on the Apple iPhone 4, so if you're interested, stay tuned. Alright, new features for the iPhone 4. As you all know, this phone was really hyped before it came out, and really well anticipated, but I do think that the phone does live up to the hype, and it's just a great phone, so I'm just going to go straight into it. So the first thing I'm going to go over is FaceTime. I thought it was a pretty cool feature. It's quite handy if you know another person that has an iPhone 4 and has Wi-Fi as well, and you can video chat with it. I thought it was pretty cool, especially because you can actually see yourself in the in the corner. Plus, you can see what the other person is doing. The picture quality was okay. It wasn't super clear, but it was all right. And you can actually use both cameras. You can actually use the HD camera as well. It works pretty well. The picture was pretty smooth over Wi-Fi, so it's a fun little feature to have on this phone. Alright, so now the Retina display. So you're probably not going to be able to see it with my camera because it's a fixed focus, but it is Retina display. It's basically just a fancy way of saying it's an HD screen. So it's 960 by 640 pixel resolution. It's 800:1 contrast, so the screen is super clear. I really love the screen. Sometimes I actually watch YouTube videos on my phone instead of on my computer because the HD quality on the screen is so clear. So that's awesome. That's a really great feature that they have, and I really like the Retina display that they have on this phone. Multitasking. So that was a big new thing for the iPhone 4. I think it works great. So all you do is you just double click the home button and this thing pops up, and you can flip through your apps, your recent apps that you've used, and go back and forth between your apps. The only thing is you got to be careful is when you're flipping through apps like that, it doesn't actually turn them off. So I'll talk about that more later, but the multitasking is a really nice function. It does work really well. You can go seamlessly between your apps or your programs or whatever you've got, and it does work great. So next in line is the HD camera, which is actually this one. If you have good lighting, it works great. It's really clear. The audio is pretty good. I like the camera. The VGA camera is just it's okay. You can't expect much from a VGA camera. It's just whatever. It's alright. The pictures are okay. I have some videos, so I'll show you the videos of the ones from this camera that I took in Canada, so you can see what the audio in the video sounds like, looks like too. The 5-megapixel camera is actually this one. The pictures are pretty good. I like the picture quality on them, and the LED flash I really like. That's really helpful at night, of course. It's only good for about 2 to 3 feet though. Anything further than that, and it's like you don't have a flash really. So I really like the LED light. It works great. The VGA camera is just whatever. It's okay. So I will show you some pictures of the 5-megapixel camera that I took in Canada as well. So here we go. On OS 4 is the HDR feature on the camera. So if you can see here, you see it says HDR. Basically that's high dynamic range, and so what that is in pictures is basically you take one picture, but it actually takes 3 pictures and it evens out the lighting. So you have bad lighting, it'll make the lighting better, and I thought that worked really well. So I'll show you a picture that I took, and you can really see the difference between the the old picture and the new picture. So that's another great feature on this new software. The iPhone 4 was folders, and so this is the stock when you get utilities, and it's got your calculator and clock and all that stuff. It works great. If you want to organize your your games and your social networking apps and whatever else you've got, I think it works great. I personally don't use it. I don't know why, because I'm lazy, but it's a great idea. I think it works great, and it's awesome for organizing things if you need to organize your phone. So this phone, I think, is the first phone that has 2 mics. So there's actually the primary mic down here for when you're talking, and there's actually another mic up here for FaceTime. And so they actually use a combination. If there's a lot of noise, they actually use a combination of both of them to get the best sound you can, you know, when you're talking to someone, so it's not like too noisy for the other person if you're in like a public area or whatever. I haven't had any complaints about people not being able to hear me, so it looks like their noise suppression works pretty well. So next order of business is the engineered glass, and so it's made from the same material that helicopter windshields are made from, so it's super durable and scratch resistant. For me personally, I don't have to worry about that because I have the invisible shield over the entire phone. But from what I've heard, the phone, you don't need any type of screen protector, and it's, you know, still okay. You can put coins on it and all sorts of stuff, and the screen will be fine. So I think that's a big plus for the phone, that you don't have to worry about scratching the phone up, and it's, you know, it can be thrown around and still be good. So the entire outside of the phone is made from CNC machined steel, which makes the phone more rigid, and I think gives it a more elegant look. The antenna is actually also housed in the steel band, so we all know about the death grip, the bottom left here. If you hold it, it basically kills your reception, but you know, it's easily fixable. Like my invisible shield fixes that. If you have any type of case, that fixes that, so it's not really that big a deal. But yeah, I do like the steel band just because it makes the phone look nicer. So the new processor on the iPhone 4 is the A4 processor. I think it works great. The speed on the processor is really fast. If you need to move through apps quickly, or you know, you're playing games, it processes stuff at super lightning fast speeds. Even when you're on the internet, on Safari, and even if you're just on 3G, the internet works really great. I think it works, you know, it seems like it's just as fast as being on your computer with, you know, Wi-Fi or whatever. So I really like the A4 processor. It works great and is super fast. The gyro and accelerometer on the phone I think works great. It's really sensitive. You know, it's basically, that's basically just for games. So if you're playing some sort of game, like I play a sniper game on my phone, and it's really sensitive, and it basically moves to your every touch. So yeah, that works great too. I really like that as well. The touchscreen on this phone is pretty sensitive. That might be an opinion question. I like the sensitivity because you don't have to touch it very hard for it to do things. Like if you're trying to type out a text or something, you just barely have to touch the screen and it'll hit the button for you. I really like that it's pretty sensitive, in my opinion. If you don't like that, sorry. But yeah, I like the sensitive screen just because you don't have to touch stuff very hard for it to actually sense what you're trying to do. The battery life on the phone is definitely upgraded. The battery lasts a lot longer than on 3GS and 3G. You're still gonna have to charge your phone every day, but it lasts a lot longer. You can do a lot more things in that time, so it's definitely a plus that Apple upgraded the battery, and I like that too. So I'm just gonna go over the tech specs really quick on this phone. The height is 4.5 inches or 115.2 millimeters. Width is 2.31 inches or 58.6 millimeters. The depth is 30.37 inches or 9.3 millimeters, and the weight is 4.8 ounces or 137 grams, and the screen is 3.5 inches or 88.9 millimeters. So the phone is actually pretty small. It fits into my pocket fine. I think the only thing that people might have problems with are the weight. At 37 grams or 4.8 ounces, it's a little bit of a heavier smartphone, but these things are so light these days that I really don't think that's a big deal. If you really think that that's too heavy for you to carry around, then you can look at another phone, an Android or whatever, an HTC Evo. But yeah, this phone is really light, and the dimensions are, I think, pretty small and really good. So that's all the new features I'm going to go over on the iPhone 4. I'm going to do some pros and cons really quickly. The pros are the apps. The App Store has a bazillion apps, and you can spend forever in there trying to find whatever you're looking for, so I think that's a big plus. For the cons, if you have AT&T, well, if you're in the US, you're going to have AT&T, so I don't like their 2-cap data limit that they have, which is pretty stupid, but you got to deal with it. If you just turn your cell data off and use Wi-Fi, then you're good to go, so I wouldn't worry too much about that, but I think it's kind of lame. Like I said earlier, the programs that automatically run in the background, so that's a new thing for the iPhone 4. So basically, if you don't turn your apps off, so say you're on Skype, right, and you just hit the home button and you don't actually sign out, it's going to keep you in. And so your phone, if your phone goes to sleep mode, that's going to suck away your data, your 3G data, well, your internet data, I guess. So you got to be careful about things like that. on the new iPhone 4 because they do keep the apps open, so be careful for that. Video chat, you can't video chat on Skype because, you know, Apple wants to do their FaceTime, which I think is kind of lame too, but, you know, that's competition for you, right? So there are other ways to get around that. There's different apps where you can actually do that on 3G if you want, but, you know, I'm not going to tell you, you can find that yourself if you want. I don't like that there's only one HD camera and not like the other one being just VGA and not HDR. That kind of, I think that's kind of sucks. But you know, you can't put everything in every phone, right? So one HD camera it is, and no flash. There's no flash on the. You can't. You know, if you're going to YouTube, like I always go to YouTube, and I can't watch people's videos from their channel. So I think that's kind of a big, like, thumbs down. But HTML5 is coming out pretty soon, so that's actually better than Flash. So when that comes out, you don't have to worry about Flash anymore. So I think that's all the bad things I didn't like about the phone. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So I hope you enjoy the review, and happy shopping.